Really quick, we have to get to the Erika Kirk Candace Owens of it all, which I know we have all been on the forefront of. And I would just like to say maybe this is the trifecta coven of who Candace Owens and Megyn Kelly don't like. Maybe every woman on this Zoom is like siamped for it.
Yes.
So for people, we talked about this on Monday. Megyn, Erika Kirk and Candace Owens did meet in person, allegedly had a 4.5 hour conversation. With absolute respect to Erika Kirk, I like Erika Kirk. I wouldn't have taken this meeting if I were her. I would not have validated the conspiracy theories and shit that Candace has been saying about her husband and just like the drama she's been putting her and Turning Point through. It came out yesterday that the big podcast host, big podcast host Megyn Kelly facilitated the meeting. We have a clip of her talking about her haters, and this may be directed at me, number 5.
So in any event, Candace knows I disagree with her on this. Petty internet people want to turn that into a cat fight between Candace and yours truly, which will fail. She and I actually have only gotten closer over the past couple of months as people try to make me attack her. So fuck off. And I'll just say this final thing. To the hateful people whom I used to call friends, who have been all over the internet trying to shame me and say that no one should ever listen to this program again because I haven't spoken out on the Erika Candace conflict. There's no, I don't have any pearls of wisdom other than go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. You have no fucking clue what's going on. You don't know what I do behind the scenes. And your world is so myopically online, you fail to understand there are real humans involved here. And actually being able to touch grass and have relationships with them, which is something I'm doing, could prove to actually benefit all involved. Maybe it won't. Maybe it won't at all. But it's at least got a shot. I'm not sure your Twitter shame game has gotten anything of value done.
Actually, it has. Megyn Kelly.
She's so
Yesterday,
tough.
I was watching this on the couch. It like popped up in my feed, and my girls were sitting by me, and I was like, "Oh!" Like I was like, I have to turn the volume down because just saying "fuck" so much. I was like, "Oh!" Like what's happening?
Very defensive.
I want to make that my ringtone.
The problem with those kinds of rants, I mean, I've done them before too, where
Sure.
you're cursing a lot, is that they can come off as being kind of stagey and silly. And so you have to kind of thread the needle with that. And I just felt like it came off, no, sorry, Megyn Kelly, but it came off as just kind of awkward and a little bit stagey. Now, I do see her point, her legitimate point about wanting to preserve relationships and caring more about relationships than the Twitter wars. But I will say, Megyn, you're wrong. Megyn Kelly, you are wrong on your last point when you assert that these Twitter posts are doing nothing. I think that a lot of the shaming that's been going on, shaming of Candace online, has been really important, frankly, because for too long, too many people were afraid to say anything about her. And so one of the things that's been really nice to see over the past couple of weeks is people finally online, not just the big names and the big accounts, but lots of ordinary people waking up and saying, this is not right. This woman has been engaging in a campaign of months-long sustained harassment and yes, lies and manipulation. And it's not right. So.
And to that point, the only reason this meeting happened is because of accounts like that building and building and building, and that Erika took notice. And so, I think if it was just Candace in an solo echo chamber with her little Candace CIA, it would have been left alone, and she would have just let her do her little investigations and her dream tips. And that would have been that. But with you, Jessica, and your coverage of it, it got big enough that she had to address it. And did you see how strange it was? Candace said that for the 4.5 hours or whatever, she wouldn't even drink her out of her own water bottle. That's how crazy and paranoid she is when it comes to Erika.
Also, in regards to Megyn Kelly, people are scared of these women because they have such massive followings and they are very aggressive, both on their shows and on social media. Megyn Kelly went after me on Twitter a few weeks ago. That's something I said about Tucker Carlson at Turning Point, which I stand by. And then Tucker Carlson had a guest on who called me fat and fat shamed me. I'm 9 months fucking pregnant,
your dad
but whatever.
Gay, which is crazy.
Yeah, and my dad gay. We can go with. I don't really like.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Kind of funny,
respectfully,
actually.
my dad didn't need to justify his masculinity to anyone, but whatever. It's just like, so it's ugly. And I know you guys have experienced it, and Jessica, you've been at the forefront of it, but I just don't understand, like, why is Megyn Kelly the only one that's allowed to have to say something on Twitter, or we're all commentators, we're all paid for our opinion. Like, it's part of the job here. And I agree with what Kristen just said. I thought what Candace Owens was doing to Erika Kirk was gross. I still think it's gross. I think Erika Kirk is in deep grief. We saw her husband get his neck shot off on Twitter. Like, she should be given, compassion by all of us. Jessica, what do you make of all of this? This is just a mess. And the idea that the coalition is going to somehow be fixed by one meeting between Jessica and Megyn, I'm sorry, not Jessica, Candace and Megyn, it's ridiculous. This fracture about Israel and many other things is only growing, and it's only going to become more of an issue going into 2028.
I mean, I agree with everything you guys are saying. And I think there's also just a lot of ego in this. I think people are seeing how much attention Candace is getting. And so they're wanting to align themselves and grasp any way they can. And I think, love or hate him, I don't always agree with Ben Shapiro, but what he said to Megyn was absolutely true. He said, if this was a liberal woman, like, why all of a sudden she wants to reserve her opinion and step back? And it's like, she makes a living shredding people like Meghan Markle and all kinds of outrageous women. And yet with Candace, she treads very lightly. And I just think it's because, I mean, I have overlapping audience too. I've lost tons of followers and tons of subscribers for criticizing her, and people are terrified of Candace Owens. That's why she's been able to get away with all of this for so long. And what I'm doing is, it's not, people think it's personal because she dragged me through one of these spins, but it's actually, it's like I would expose anything, whether it's a trial or media corruption and, mainstream. What I'm seeing is there's a pattern of abuse and just really vicious bullying that's been going on for years, and none of these people have ever spoken out. So I was up till midnight last night talking to sources, and the stories are horrifying. And there's a pattern that she follows. So, I mean, I'm getting tons of hate, and I've been through this before through certain periods online where I shed a bunch of followers. But to me, it's like, I know what's true and right, and I don't think she should be able to continue without anyone calling out the hypocrisy and the cruelty. It's just crazy to see how much women, especially women, enjoy being mean to each other. Like, I can't believe how that's just applauded right now.
And even this conversation, like, I was texting you guys earlier, I was like, okay, are we just going to get shredded by Megyn Kelly or Candace Owens later today? Are they just going to go on a rant about how ugly and stupid and irrelevant we all are? Like, it's so, I agree. I've been in this industry a really long time, like almost 20 years. This is like one of the worst groups of bullies out there. And again, you don't have to agree with me. I don't have to agree with you guys, whatever. But what you're inviting when you have a conversation, it becomes very personal and very, very cruel. And, again, I'm allowed to think what Candace was doing to Erika Kirk is gross. And I still think it's gross. And apparently you texted earlier, Kristen, that she's going on Piers Morgan later today. So
yes.
a lot of this is about
Candace is?
clicks and money.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's all about clicks and money, sadly. I mean, that's just, it's the boring truth is clicks and money.
Well, and it's not just asking questions either. This is something that I'm really getting tired of having to dispel or fight against online, is now Candace Owens apologists who are insisting that all she was doing was asking questions. No, I mean, you can't tell me that you've actually been paying attention to her for these past months and weeks and not seen her accuse the US military of definitely being involved in Charlie Kirk's murder, of accusing everyone under the sun. The Macrons were trying to kill me, she says. Now that all that, by the way, has slipped away. Are we no longer concerned with the assassination scheme by the Macrons? She's accused, as you know, directly or indirectly through insinuation, people at Turning Point, even Erika Kirk to a degree. So this has been a months-long sustained harassment campaign. And look, if the targets had been just, if this had been some just war that Candace Owens was fighting online, I'd be all about it. But it has all for it, but it has not been. And so she's not going to be allowed. She should not be allowed to slink away from this. And honestly, it looks like she's going to probably start revving up again anyway. Do y'all realize how much blowback she has gotten from her followers? That stream that Candace Owens did last night, where she basically turned around on most stuff that she's been saying for the past several months, 95% of the comments of her own followers and supporters were extremely negative, extremely disappointed in her. I'm unsubscribing. I can't believe that you've been co-opted like this. You gave in, you're a plant, you were part of it from the beginning, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how Candace is going to keep her audience unless she capitulates back into this conspiracy minded approach.
But she's gotten them so crazy that they're convinced now that she knows some secret big truth that
Yes.
Charlie's still alive and that he's in some kind of bunker or some stupid bullshit. And didn't she open with like a Shabbat Shalom? So now she's compromised by
It was
Israel
an
now too.
unhinged, it was an
It's
unhinged
insane.
introduction. I don't know what that was about. It was totally unhinged.
So heartless and cruel. And so I've been fighting, I mean, all night long, I just have the craziest comments. But what's funny is I was like, oh, these people really, really hate me. But then I went on her site and looked and I'm like, they really hate her too. They just,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's getting it. She's getting it from her
they
followers.
just, they're
Deservedly.
But just to interject, Yashara Lee, the journalist, is saying that her followers are larger and like stronger and coming towards her than ever. Is that inaccurate?
Well, you know, you can only get so much out of the comments section. And so, yeah, she's got millions of followers. And I mean, I'm a follower of hers technically too. A lot of us are hate watching as well, right? But I do think though that she has taken a definite hit in terms of her credibility with a lot of people who like her. And there was no way to see yesterday's stream other than as some kind of a serious capitulation by Candace Owens. She tried to distract with that weird introduction, and she tried to walk some things back or kind of, in some ways equivocate. But she gave in. She waved the white flag. And she's going to have a problem going forward because does she need to choose a new conspiracy? She can't do the Macron thing because she's about to be hit probably with hundreds of millions of dollars in judgment there potentially with that lawsuit. So is she going to find a new conspiracy and hope that her followers then will join her on that? I don't know.
You know, we were told
Well,
on
I'm gonna
Monday
go
that
ahead.
this is an extremely online thing and that people in the real world
Yeah,
don't
Selena Zito said
care
that people
and
in
that
the world don't give a
this
shit.
is not
I agree with that.
relevant to the midterms or relevant to anything within the parties. Do you guys agree? You guys agree with this, or is this
I'm starting to
actually
learn that too. Yes, I think you're right.
okay?
Yeah, I think it's real. I think we get locked in because we're chronically online. But and
Totally.
then the bot activity going on. I'm learning about that. So it's like a lot of it's muddled to you don't know what's real and what's human engagement, what's, bot.
That's one of my gripes is I hate online commenting bots.
Well, I
I
started
want to do, go
so
ahead.
sorry. I'm like, I can't spend my time, Christmas is crazy. We cannot be fighting with robots.
Yes. And you don't know. You can't tell the difference. So
Difference.